Yo, what's good? This is Casey for L King Self for Life Wrestling Takes, and you're now watching Casey for L Wrestling Takes Show. Hey, what's going on? I know I was supposed to do it last night, but nope, I was tired as heck. We are going to break down this entire show. I thought AEWCollision was a very good show. But before we talk about it, I got to bring some freaking straightening to the freaking IWC streets, because it seems like everybody's going mayhem. You got everybody that's on their tribalistic, occultic, straight up foolish mindset, because that's all they know how to do. They don't have anything really don't have anything else good to say. So we're going to break it all down. We're going to talk about everything. Now, like I said, I told you what I thought about TK with his outbursts and all that crap. You pretty much admitted defeat. That is a defeated mindset with you hopping online saying all this goofy stuff that you've been saying. All this clowning, going back and forth. That's a defeated mindset. Now the fact that you got hardcore tribalistic E-drones or shields or whatever you want to call them, constantly taking pictures like these and posting them all online, and everybody said, oh, the sky's falling, this is the AEW, they're going out of business. Everybody keeps saying, why don't they just get smaller venues and all of this, and Edge then he sold out, all he wants is money and all. I'm like, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, do y'all understand wrestling has always been about money? I don't get where this it seems like, oh, if you work for one company, you only there for money. What you think fools working in the E for? I mean, obviously we call the E the Fed, we call it prison, so more than likely people like going to prison because they get paid money. If you get my drift. If Edge wanted to come on here and make some money and call it a career with his homeboys and them, by all means, hey, that's on him. And like I said, with us constantly keep talking about this, keep putting this up, I mean, it's all on my timeline. Cats just, oh, this is the end. This is over. I'm like, bro, if y'all fool, let me tell y'all something. Just a year ago, when WWE was going through all the foolishness with Vince McMahon and all that stuff, they were going through the same exact thing. Was not one person posting pictures and talking about, oh, look, WWE's going out of business and all that. No. I can tell you exactly why, because I told you, There is an occultic, tribalistic mindset that seems to only go based off of a company that they love. If they love that one company, that's all they're gonna go with. If they hate the other company, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna take a major dump on it. But like I said, TK, his problem is he don't know how to actually be mature. That is his biggest issue. Maturity is it seemed to be his issue. I've seen the picture today with him he took a picture with Doug. I forgot Doug's last name. The head coach of Jacksonville. They beat the brakes off the Colts 37-20. Listen, man. Just learn how to book. Listen, you actually did so last night on Collision, because I'm about to talk about it. If you build up more interest in people wanting to come to the show, you ain't gonna have to deal with this. But that's the biggest problem. The biggest problem is he don't know how to do that. Whoever is his marketing team, I think it's one of the Young Bucks' wife. I think I was one of them. I don't know which Young Bucks' wife it is, because I know they said she the one that's supposed to be responsible for the marketing and all that stuff. You just got to do a better job of marketing. And then I saw a video from Bully Ray. He said not Bully Ray. Vince Russo. Vince Russo has said, listen, TK, you are not the freaking face of AEW. You want to be the face of AEW. You are not. You ain't out there wrestling. You are the one that's promoting it. You got the wrestlers to be the face. MJF, Adam Copeland, Swerve, Omega and them. These are the cats that need to be your faces of the company, not you. Britt, whoever. These are the cats that you are supposed to put out there. Those are the ones, not you. And that's one of the major reasons why it's not really growing. And then the fact that you only have a certain audience that you apply to, that's not it. It's not it. I'm trying to help you out right now. Listen, this is where I come in and be the middleman. I'm the one that actually give him some pointers on what to do. See, I don't want nobody coming in my comment section telling me that I'm shilling out for Tony Khan. No, I'm just trying to get that boy the answers on exactly what to do. Meanwhile, I get on the occultists and the tribalistic clowns that all they know how to do is just post videos to say, oh, this is the end of the world, this is the sky's falling. That's all they know. But like I said, WWE had the same exact problem the last year in 2022. They had the same exact problem. But guess what they decided to do? They decided to market better. They decided to put out better storylines. They decided to get people excited. And guess what? They were selling out before cats even pulled up. Now look at them. I mean, that's it. But like I said, we wasn't listen, first of all, I never do any other stupid stuff like this. I don't do that because I'm not a tribalist. I told you, I want every wrestling corporation to do well. Check this out. Bound for Glory sold out. I told you, when cats come out my way out here in Chicago, my city is a hardcore wrestling here. I didn't realize that our city was a wrestling head city until WrestleMania 22. That's when I noticed. That's how Chicago's a wrestling place. We love our wrestling out here. We love our pro wrestling. Trust me. These heads out this way love it. Bound for Glory has sold out. And I came close to going, ladies and gentlemen. I almost was going to go. That would have been my first TNA, a.k.a. Impact pay-per-view. But it sold out. Chicago. I see why everybody be like, always coming out this way. Survivor Series. Sold out. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I'm like this. I'm not finna be crying the sky's falling. But like I said, I am going to give tips on what you should do to get better. You understand what I'm saying? But like I say, when you have the promoter himself crying about ratings, acting a goddamn fool for 3 days straight, can't cope with the fact that you got beat by a third string promotion, because that's basically what NXT is. It's the developmental promotion. That's exactly what it is, right? That's what you crying about. Now, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? They actually get another opportunity to go head to head come November 17th. This time it's going to be with Collision. Collision's not coming on Saturday. Collision is coming on Friday night. November 17th at the same exact time as SmackDown. Now, I'm already telling you right now, since SmackDown already matter of fact, they just did about 2.3, I think. 2.3. So, salute to Jade and them getting 2.3. First time ever, Jade is on a show where it's actually more than 1 million. That is great. I ain't mad at it. Do what you got to do. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Collision is going to be going up against that, and I'm already expecting them to get spanked. I'm not even finna be front because what? SmackDown is a well-established show. They've been on TV for 24 years, ladies and gentlemen. Collision been on for what? Not even a year? Got started in, when did Collision get started? Collision got started in, was it June? Yeah, Collision got started by June, right? So, was it June, July, August, September, October? What, 5 months? A show that's been on for 5 months. How the heck a show that's been on for 5 months is going to beat a show that's been established for 24 years? Doesn't make sense. And it's on non-cable. Let that sink in. Now, here's the deal. If Tony Khan and them could be consistent, because like I said, I'm about to talk about how I believe Collision was actually a solid show. Regardless of what you see in this little silly man picture that some idiot took, because I know why they did it. I told you, fools go to these shows and they do this stuff because they know they get a rise out of people. It's all about getting a rise out of people. And they know that a lot of the heavy AEW shields fall for it. Yes, I'm saying it. They fall for it. They fall for it, and all this on my timeline is people going back and forth, crying about this, crying about that. And I'm like, would you, listen, now I'm talking to the hardcore AEW heads. AEW fans who are on social media, do not allow WWE elitists or people who hate AEW to trigger you, because that's exactly what their job is. Their job is to trigger you. Their job is to get you ticked off. Their job is to get you to where you having a meltdown like Tony Khan. What you do, you either block they behind or you mute them. Like I said, people say, well, y'all AEW fans don't like to take criticism. I'm like, I'm one of the biggest AEW critics on the planet. I don't want to hear it. People be telling me I'm a shield. No, I get on Tony Khan's case when it's time. And guess what? I'm going to get on his case because there was a couple of things on this show I wasn't feeling. I'm telling y'all, there is too many people that's on this platform that's wasting their time. Now, they got a big platform. They're doing their job, but they not really giving no wisdom. They just out here giving their opinion and just talking. And it's like they just talking to the wall and doing absolutely nothing. But like I said, when you got cats like me who's going to have a fair level-headed mind, unbiased, because I know fools think I'm biased because I love AEW. No. I come on here to bring the truth and nothing but the truth concerning wrestling as a whole. Regardless if it's the E, regardless if it's Impact, regardless of AEW, I come on here to give you nothing but the bold-faced truth. You understand what I'm saying? And like I said, when you got foolishness like this, stuff like this, it's about, because a lot of people was also saying that the ticket prices is too high. Okay, lower the ticket prices. Like I said, lower the ticket prices. Tell better stories, get larger than life characters, and guess what? You're going to put butts in seats, because that's what the E is doing right now. That's exactly what WWE is doing. WWE said, look, we know that some of our stuff we doing is lame. Let's call it for what it is. But we do know that we got some stuff that's got people very interested. And fools say, I got to go to a WWE show. Ladies and gentlemen, I was at Monday Night Raw this year. So for people who want to call me an AEW shield, I went to Monday Night Raw. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Even with us being at the show, when I watched the show back on TV, I'm going to be honest with you, the show was kind of iffy. But when we went to the actual show, and even though the Allstate Arena is one of the cramped arenas, that's why I said, I'm like, how the heck did they get a WrestleMania up in here? We actually enjoyed ourselves. We had fun. I said, man, I'm actually at a WWE programming. I'm on TV. This is crazy. I've been watching this stuff, like I said, 25 years, right? And I finally decided I'm going to pull up. I pulled up. I was at a WWE show, and we was jam-packed up in there. Jam-packed. I said, man, listen. It's about building. Building is the key. Storytelling is the key. For fools that want to keep taking goofy man pictures like these, let them do what they got to do, because at the end of the day, all they doing is just praying for the downfall of this company. And like I said, Tony Khan with his outbursts and all that stupid stuff he was doing, that ain't helping nobody. That's not helping him. That ain't helping nobody. You just embarrassing yourself and you embarrassing your company. And you telling Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Vince McMahon, Bruce Richer, Nick Khan, all of them circus clowns over there, the Beaver Man, Kevin Dunn, you telling all of those circus clowns over there, guess what? You ain't built for this, homie. You ain't built for it. TK, you really not built for it. If you is getting triggered by these idiots that can't shine your shoes, you're not built for this, homie. You're not. Guess what? When November 17th come, they're going to beat you again. You know that, right? They're going to beat you again. But guess what? What you do, you just put on a great television show. Instead of, instead of SmackDown getting that 2 point something, how about you somehow pull 1 million of them? See if you can at least get 1 million on Collision. I know that's a stretch. I know, because Collision barely get 400,000. I mean, they range in between 400 to 500,000. And unfortunately, like I said, this past Tuesday, you only had 600,000. Build better TV. But like I say, in some cases, TK don't know how to do that. But like I said, I'm going to talk about Collision, and we're going to go in, because I personally thought Collision felt like the old Collision. Somebody had said, yo, did CM Punk come back to book this show? It sure didn't feel like a Tony Khan book show. That's exactly what I was seeing somebody say. That's it. I really like that's the solution. The solution ain't coming on here hating and talk about, oh, this is it. This is the death of AEW and all. Because that's all cats know how to do. I'm telling you. I know cats. I'm tight with cats. And I know how they move. I'm tight with a whole bunch of these cats, and they do the same thing. They come on here, they just hate. They ain't got nothing else to say. They don't really have no constructive criticism. They don't really have no words of encouragement. They just sitting up talking all kind of goofy stuff and sounding silly as heck. And then, like I said, when you got the circus clowns on Twitter and TikTok, and I'm like, bro, listen. At the end of the day, we as wrestling fans should want wrestling as a whole to thrive. Why the heck, as a wrestling fan, you want half of the business to die? Makes no sense to me. That's stupid. Like I said, I wish I would come on here, even though I know a lot of people think I be taking dibs at WWE. That's because they put on some stupid stuff. If it's stupid, I'm going to call the stupidity out. I'm not finna sit up and say, oh man, this is fantastic. No. Look. You should want this. You should want this business over here to thrive. You should want them to succeed. You should. However, like I do, I come on here and I get on cats' case when they do stupid stuff. When AEW does dumb things, guess what? I'm the first one to call them out. I am. I don't want to hear nobody tell me that I don't call nobody out. I'll be one of the first cats to come on here and spit nothing but the truth on what they should do. How they should rebound, what should be step 1, step 2, step 3 to get over whatever they messed up. Okay, you messed up this week. Take it ill, be mature, go back to the drawing board. That's exactly what he did on Collision. That's all I got to say on this situation, because like I said, you're not going to hear this on nobody else's channel. All you're going to hear is tribalism. All you're going to hear is cats. And before cats say, well, man, it started with look. WWE has been around for what, 50, 60 years? They've been around, and they always wanted to just be the end-all, be-all. They not. Like I say, when TNA was doing their thing, they was rivaling, they was doing great. I think TNA used to do close to 2 million. I think the highest rating they had was a 3 million. But idiotic booking killed them. Now here's the deal. Guess what? They're still around. They might not be as big as they used to be, but guess what? They just celebrated 21 years. Is it 21 or 22? No. Is it 23? They just look here. Regardless of what it looks like with them, they still thrive, and it might not be as big as it used to be, but guess what? They still on. You understand what I'm saying? So with this company being a 4-year-old company, already on the verge of getting a streaming service, let that sink in. I mean, like I said, I just want them to get better so we won't have to be sitting up here constantly talking about idiotic stuff like this. Because when we constantly keep talking about idiotic, stupid stuff like this, guess what? we as wrestling fans look stupid. We sound stupid. We look stupid. We don't. I mean, like, who does that? I don't get it. Who does stupid stuff? I couldn't be me, ladies and gentlemen. It just sure could be me. Like I said, I come on here and I give you what's needed, what needs to be done to improve, because there is a host of things that need to be improved with this company. A host. And number one, it starts with the clown up top. Because Mr. I do something behind the scenes. Yes, Mr. Anthony Khan, you got to change your ways, son. You got to change your ways for real. This ain't a game no more. Because obviously WWE think you are a threat. They may not say you are a threat, but they personally believe you are. Because the fact that they had to go get all those big name clowns and put them on their show and make it a WrestleManiaNXT, obviously they believe you're a threat. They absolutely do. But here's the deal. You can't act like a spoiled brat when you don't get your way, when you don't win. Because, see, you already admitted defeat. I ain't got nothing else to say on that. We are about to break down this show. I thought this was a very good show. Like I said, it was maybe 2 matches on this show. I really didn't give a rat's behind the bout, but we are going to break down. Regardless of the hard cam, Toledo, Ohio was a very good crowd. They made a lot of noise. They went crazy. And right from the jump, ladies and gentlemen, right from the jump. Hold on, let me see where the promo is. They got the promo. Hold on, let me see where the promo is, because like I said, we'll jump right into it where it is, because there was a whole lot of things that happened at the very beginning of the show. Okay, here it is. Right from the jump. Right from the jump. You think you know him hit. Now, like I said, obviously that's Beth. She redid the thing. That's her voice that you hear right before he comes out, before Alter Bridge starts singing the song On This Day. I see clearly. Comes out there. He addressed the fans. He addresses Christian. And as he gets ready to talk, the man himself comes walking out. He comes walking out. He gets in the ring. He addresses him. And then after he starts talking, him and Nick Wayne, Lucha comes out. They got a host of security clowns with him. He's sitting over there on the ropes and all this stuff. Talk about, I ruined your debut. Like I said, you need to take your old behind home somewhere. And then out of nowhere, Ricky Starks and Big Bill came out of nowhere. I said, what? Just one interruption after, and I said, man, listen, I'm getting WWE vibes for real. I'm like, I'm getting straight WWE vibes watching this. So they come out there, they start talking smack. Now there was a spot where both Adam and Ricky were shooting on each other. And a lot of people were saying that Adam, quote unquote, roasted Ricky. Listen, how many times do you hear this man get called a vanilla midget and he's a rock wannabe? That's all fools say. I'm like, people say that all the time. And I personally believe they say that because, one, he's black. And he wears shades like him. He wear the player. I mean, is that a knock? It should be a knock. I mean, Ricky is good. Ricky is good what he does. And then he told him, he said, you still over here dressed up looking like as if you still in the old place or something like that. Listen, they was shooting on each other. All right. Edge and Ricky were shooting. And ladies and gentlemen, I personally want a feud between them. Now the fact that they were shooting, I want it now. Because it got real. I said, that's what you want. You want to shoot. Wrestling has always been about bring the realization into the show. And basically that's what was happening. Then FTR came out there talking about they want their tag team titles back. And everybody was like, wait a minute, I thought this fool was hurt. I thought he was going to be off TV. Boom, right back. Now a lot of people were speculating that, quote unquote, FTR didn't want to do the job to the Young Bucks, which means, unfortunately, I pray to God they don't. I pray Ricky and Big Bill are not transitional champions and have the job to the Young Bucks, because if they do, I'm TK, you bet not, bro. Young Bucks, you don't need those tag team titles right now. You honestly don't need them right now. No. Let Ricky have his moment. Let Big Bill have their moment. Let them go through this pay-per-view. Let them make it through this pay-per-view. There's absolutely no point of the Young Bucks winning those tag team titles. There's none. They ain't gonna do nothing with the tag team titles because everybody been crying about the tag team division in the first place. I'm like, let Ricky and Big Bill do what they had to do. So all of them was out there. Everybody started beating, trying to jump one another, and doing all this crazy stuff. And like I said, and then Bryan finally came out, and Bryan was like, "Hey, we can go right now. We don't have to wait till the main event." I was like, "Oh, so they're ready to bounce right now. Y'all ready to go at it right now?" But nope. They said, "No, we're gonna hold back. We're gonna chill right quick. Gonna let things handle. We'll come on back out here in the main event." So then we get Juice Robinson. He came out and he went against some cat. Let me see who he went against. He went against somebody. He beat the brakes off of him, and then he cut a promo talk about he gonna win the diamond ring. And Jay White pulled out a doggone ring as if he was proposing to him and put it on his ring finger and all this stuff. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't really care about the matchup, but like I said, it's always the aftermath. And so they tried to take the situation that happened on Dynamite, the unfortunate wrong timing situation. I get it because MJF actually cut a promo about hanging out with Robert Kraft, who's a Jew, about the being anti-Semitic and hate for the Jews and all this crazy stuff and all that. And I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to rebound from what happened on Dynamite. So they kind of went away from the whole quarters joke and said, no, let's rebound and say, I'm going to get this ring. I'm going to beat the brakes off you with it. And that's that. So, decent. Wasn't too crazy. Like I said, you had the guns out there and all this stuff. You had switchblade, cardboard blade, and all this stuff. Great. So then we got a video vignette from Dustin Rhodes. And I'm going to be honest with you, I thought this was fantastic. This man said he has not had a great singles run this year yet, but he's looking forward to winning the Battle Royal, winning that diamond ring, and then eventually becoming the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. I said, yo, I liked it. The way how I felt, you could feel what he was saying. You understood what he was saying. I said, that's cool. I like it. So then the old girl was talking to Nick Wayne. I believe that's DDP's daughter. And we've been assigned, or you've been assigned that you will be having a sit-down interview with Jim Ross and your mother's going to be there. He said, wait, excuse me, what? I'm having an interview with JR and my mom's going to be there. Why? Why is she going to be there? But for everybody want to know why I did what I did, why I chose Christian, I guess you just going to have to find out on Dynamite. All right, we're going to find out. All right, cool. So, let's see. Where's Samoa Joe now? So, we got Samoa Joe and what's my man name? Willie Mack. Now, this matchup was very good. Now, this was a great showcasing for Willie Mack. They talked about where Willie Mack came from. And I'm going to be honest with you. This was a great match. Great matchup. Willie Mack and Samoa Joe did work. But here's the deal. This is what Tony Khan and them are going to have to start showcasing. When certain cats go up for certain cats' title or whatever, you need to showcase them getting wins on Dynamite or Rampage or Collision. So boom, when they finally come up, cats gonna be like, wait, I know Willie Mack. I remember him from Impact and all that stuff and Lucha Underground, but I'm like, he's going into a lose-lose situation. So at least TK and them going to have to figure out, all right, before I have certain clowns come up that we don't even know who they are, I've got to have them. And don't tell me, oh, it's on Ring of Honor. Don't nobody watch Ring of Honor, man. I told you, listen, I get why he bought the catalog. I get it. But, man, this investment, man, has been a waste of time. And it's sad because you got a host of cats that's on Ring of Honor that's been doing work. Athena, one of the best women wrestlers in the game, and she's stuck on the app that don't nobody watch. Then you got cats like Willie Mack down there. You got Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty, and then you got the Righteous, and then you got all these other cats that stuck on the app that don't nobody watch. I said, bro, what is the point? Like, bro, just look, keep the catalog. What you need to do is you need to just bring them cats up. You got two shows now. You got Dynamite and you got Collision. You might have to do a brand split. You just might have to. you might have to do a brand split. You might have to do a freaking brand split. Have your Dynamite cats on Dynamite. Have your Ring of Honor, have your what you call it? Have your cats on Collision. You know what I'm saying? And then certain cats want to pull up on Rampage, pull up on Rampage. But put them on the app that ain't nobody paying attention to, man. That ain't helping you. Then you wonder how come ain't nobody buying tickets to your shows, because you out here trying to do all of this at one time. Man, I'm like, bro. But Willie Mack and Samoa Joe, they did work. That match was great. I love the match. It was a fantastic match. But like I said, I just need Willie Mack to be getting victories on Dynamite or Collision or whatever. So when he come up, cat's gonna be like, oh man, who is this cat? Like who? Now, like I said, obviously they knew him out there in Ohio because they was making noise and everything. But I'm talking about for the TV audience, right? And then same thing right here. Now I've seen this Boulder cat before, but honestly, I didn't care about it. This was basically for Kyle Fletcher to get the rub, because obviously right now he's on the singles run, and I'm gonna be 100% with y'all. Even though I got my take on Kyle Fletcher, I think Kyle Fletcher is good. Trust me, but I personally think he shines better in tag team more. And this matchup really didn't do nothing for me. I personally believe this was just on here just for Kyle Fletcher to get the rub, just to get the up one. So later on, he's going to talk about what he's getting ready to do on Dynamite. Now, we got a backstage segment with Lana, a.k.a. CJ Perry, and she talked about how with Miro out here clowning, she's got her eyes on a whole bunch of cats, and she's going to be looking to be the manager of a host of people. And out of nowhere, Action Andrade came out of nowhere. I said, Action Andrade working with Lana? I don't know. Maybe it might work. Guess what happened later on? You'll find out. So we get another backstage segment. We got the Acclaim talking with Renee, talking about they finna team up with Max and they've been champs for 48 days and all of this stuff. Then they started quote unquote getting vulgar with Renee, and Renee told Max that he's an idiot and everything. I'm like, and then again with him clowning, talking about we're gonna get down with MJF, but Billy Gunn and Anthony Bowens basically has said, listen, bro, I know that's your guy and all, but bro, why you want us to be assigned with that cat? He said, come on, guys. He's a good guy. He's real cool. And ladies and gentlemen, the cracks are happening. I don't know if people are peeping the game, but the cracks are happening in between of the Acclaim. And then out of nowhere, I knew it was going to happen. Daddy Magic and company pulled up and said that we want your trios titles, and we're going to go up against you at Memphis. I'm like, at Memphis, what are you talking about? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Battle with the Belts 8 is taking place. And so they already letting you know it's coming up. It's finna take place next week. So we got our first matchup for Battle with the Belts. I don't think they losing. I think they retain the titles. And so right after the segment, DG tried to do his little goofy dance, but Jake Hager had put his hand in front of him and said, oh, no, not today. So that right there tells me that they're going to lose, because DG is still trying to be a sports entertainer, and they not feeling it no more. They ain't feeling it. So that's that. Then we get this matchup. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Sky Blue versus Chris Statlander was a great match. The match was fire. It was fantastic. My only problem was it shouldn't have happened on TV. You're building Sky up to potentially turn into the next Julia Hart, because look at the makeup on her face. And right at the beginning of the match, you seen Chris, what is wrong with you? This is not you. I said, this would have been perfect if Sky was going against somebody else. Heck, if you wanted her, you could have had her go against Willow out something. You could have set something up like, okay, she beat Emma Sakura on Rampage. Then she beat up another chick on here, and this is basically giving her wins. And so Chris is out there on commentary, and she's watching, and she's sitting up there saying, like, this is like, I don't know what happened to my best friend. Like, ever since she got spit in the face by Julia Hart, it just seems like she's changing, and I don't know what to do. I'm trying to talk some sense into her, but it's just not working. It would have been great. You would have been understanding, like, okay, it's like Chris don't know what to do. Her best friend is turning into a heel. She don't know what to do. I said, spilled up to the potential match that could take place at freaking Full Gear. And guess what? Sky Blue is going over. It's the story sets itself. But see, Willow is involved. Right after the match, Chris retains the championship. TBS title was on the line. Willow came out of nowhere to check on her friend. And Chris really didn't know what to do. Chris was looking at Willow. Chris was looking at Sky. Sky looked like she demon possessed already. I'm like, I don't really know where this is going, but I personally feel that I wish they didn't give away the matchup, because it seemed like my entire timeline, even people who don't like this company, said this match was great. I've seen the people talking. They said this was a fantastic women's match. I saw it on my timeline. I'm not stupid. I've seen it. Everybody said this match was great. Everybody. And I'm sitting up and saying, why the heck didn't they just build to it? Because it feel like TK just, all he know how to do is just put cats together. I'm like, bro, TK, tell a freaking story. You wonder how come ain't nobody pulling up at your shows? This is why. Because all you know is wrestling matches. That's not it. There is so many aspects to running a pro wrestling business. It's not just the wrestling itself. It's not. And that's what that's the messed up part about this circus clown. This is where I'll be like, this is where me and him don't get along. Because I'm like, bro, all you know is freaking pro wrestling. You don't really know how to actually like stamp and say, look, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I need to take a step back. I need to get some clowns in here that actually know what they're doing. And hey, I just signed the checks. I can be the last say so, but until then, I get some people that's smarter than me when it's concerning storytelling. I bring them in, and they help me out along the way. And I get somebody in here that can relate with the freaking women, so people don't think that I don't care about the women's division. Because the more and more I see it, everybody who was on TK's helmet about the situation that happened with LuFisto, that stuff is starting to look more and more true. And guess what? Thunder Rosa look like she out the door too. I want her to come back. I want her to do what she need to do in AEW. But it just seems like she may be out the door as well. And I'm like, hey, that's on Tony Khan. TK the one that's sitting on a whole bunch of people. People still, where the heck is Serena Deeb? And I heard Serena and I heard, where the heck is Serena Deeb? Bro, do you see what I'm talking about? This is what I'm talking about. You not putting forth an effort with the women. I get it. Toni Storm is the best thing you got right now because she has developed this Kelly Clofield / Marilyn Monroe gimmick. Fantastic. Great. Because they even talked about it. They said she got a full segment taking place on Dynamite. Fantastic. Storytelling is the key. And I wish they didn't do this matchup. Because the match was fantastic. The match was great. I said it was a banger match. I love the match. I just wanted them to build up to it. Let Sky get some wins and have her play this game that she don't know what's going on, but she technically do know what's going on. And Chris is really trying to get into it. And meanwhile, you got Willow who's in the middle of this thing. Because Willow came out and Willow was standing there with Sky. She really didn't say anything, but she was standing there with Sky. And now there's a lot of people that's actually kind of on the fence because they don't really want Willow to turn heel. I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, listen, it's all about how things flow. Would I trip if Willow turned heel? No, I'm not gonna trip. Because I mean, like I said, they seem to turn everybody black heel anyway. But I'm not gonna trip. I'm not gonna trip. I'm just trying to see exactly where things are going. Because again, storytelling is the key. You're trying to make sense of things. Just having great wrestling matches, that does not help cats make sense of things. But that's what TK like to do. And that's a serious issue on his hand. That's an area where he seems to fail at. This is on him. The wrestlers can do only what they're told to do. They're told to go out here and have great bangers and all this stuff. You can have 15 billion bangers all you want, but if you ain't really telling me nothing, how the heck can I sink my teeth in this on? Just an honest take, ladies and gentlemen. Honest take. Matchup was fine. Great matchup. I just wish they didn't do it so quick. I wish they would have built up to it, where we would get the anticipation like, yo, I can't wait to see these two girls go at it for the TBS title at Full Gear. That's what I wanted. And as a matter of fact, starting on Dynamite, we need to at least get four more matches added to the Full Gear card, because we starting to get a little bit close to Full Gear. We need at least 4 more matches. We know we got Jay White and MJF. That's the main event. Let's start adding the rest of these cards, rest of these matches to the card, so we know what's going on. So we know, okay, let me start sinking my teeth into this storyline. You understand what I'm saying? That's all. So Kyle Fletcher talked about, he said best wishes to his mate, Mark Davis. But in the meantime, I've been assigned the opportunity this coming Dynamite to beat the brakes off the man himself, Kenny freaking Omega. Everybody in their mama went nuts. I said, ladies and gentlemen, I personally believe the setup is happening. Jericho got destroyed by you know who last week, Will Hobbs. We get Kenny Omega versus Kyle Fletcher. Kyle's like, how does that happen? You know Kyle Fletcher is connected with Don Callis. They all a part of the family. They connected. They in there. Guess what? I personally believe if you want to set up Will Hobbs versus Kenny Omega, Will Hobbs needs to be the reason why Kyle Fletcher go over. And I'm telling you, if you set that match up, Kenny versus Will Hobbs, I'm going to be out of my mind crazy happy. And look, whoever wins, I'm going to sit up here. I don't care. I just want a good match. Do I want Will Hobbs to win? Absolutely. But you know what? I'm not going to trip if he don't win. But I'm telling you, I personally think Will Hobbs versus Kenny Omega is set up. Don't do it on free TV. That's not a match you do on free TV. You set that match up for Full Gear. You set it up for Full Gear, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, I personally believe that's where we're going with this whole segment. Because these two, I think, look at when Kyle get in there with somebody that's better than him, ladies, and tell you that's when Kyle Fletcher matches be off the chain. Because the cat he went against, the Boulder cat, I didn't care nothing about that. It was trash. It's trash. Like I said, that's a Rampage match, ladies and gentlemen. That's not a Collision match. That's just TK. I don't have anything, and I don't really have anything else to do. Let me just put these two random clowns together. Great. Then we got a video package promo from LFI. These gangster mafia Hispanic cats is on something, and I'm loving it. I say this video was great. This was great. I say, man, think about this, yo. People keep saying the trios division is trash, and ladies and gentlemen, that's because they put it on their Acclaim. I thought TK was gonna do something with him. He did nothing with their Acclaim. All they was doing is selling replicas. But guess what? These fools got 3 teams gunning for them. They got Daddy Ed Crew. They got them, the LFI, Los Inglobulares. And don't forget, they got Bullet Club Gold. That's 3 teams that's gunning for them. I said, well, there you have it. Now, as for who going to win them, I don't really mind. If they win the trios titles, fantastic. You got a Hispanic Mafia cats running around here with the trios title, and with the whole new connection with the CM Mill, because that's why Sin Cara get ready to pull up on Rampage next week. I think this is huge, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, a lot of people say they got a whole bunch of Hispanic luchadors running around here, but I say these 3 stand out. They stand out, and I love it. I said, look here, if they potentially win the trios titles, great. I ain't got a problem with it. This matchup was not supposed to be on here. It was supposed to be Commander versus Brian Cage, but somebody got injured. I don't know if it was Brian Cage or Commander. Somebody got injured. We got a Keith Lee signing. He pulled up, and he beat some clown named Turbo Floyd. Now, there's been a lot of people that's been wondering what the heck is Tony Khan doing with Keith Lee. Man, Keith Lee's whole situation is jacked up right now. It's all over the place. But like I said, I did like that powerbomb he did on dude. He beat the snot out of him. Now, they did show Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty watching on. Now, if you want to quote-unquote set up Samoa Joe versus Keith Lee for the Ring of Honor TV title, you can start right here. But make it known that Keith must go through Shane Taylor first before he can go after Samoa Joe. This is what I'm doing. In order to build up Keith Lee, this is where you start. He takes out Floyd. Then he takes out Shane Taylor. I know Lee Moriarty going to be in the way, But first he has to take out Lee Moriarty to get to Shane Taylor. He must defeat Lee Moriarty. He defeats Lee Moriarty, then he gets a shot at Shane Taylor. And this should be the number one contender shot to determine who's going to go against Samoa Joe at the Final Battle pay-per-view for Ring of Honor. Because that's what I would do. I do that matchup at Final Battle. Keith Lee versus Samoa Joe. And guess what? Keith Lee's going over. That's what I'm doing. I said this is a start. Since you want to keep bringing this Ring of Honor crap to TV, this is what you do. You want to have Keith Lee do something, this is what he's going to do in the meantime. Because a lot of people still think that maybe somewhere in the future, we're going to get the storyline between Keith Lee and Swerve. I'm not going to do that now until Swerve potentially wins that main championship. That's what I'm doing. But like I say, right here, I'm trying to make sense of things. Like I said, this was a squash match. Keith Lee beat this circus clown named Turbo Floyd. Don't know who the circus clown. I feel like I've seen it before, but I'm like, it is what it is on that. But he beat the brakes off of him. But like I said, they kept showcasing Shane and Lee looking on, watching in front of the TV. I said, well, set the match up. In order to get his hands on Shane, he must defeat Lee Moriarty. And you know what? I'm doing that matchup on Dynamite or Collision. I'm telling you. That's what I'm either doing it on Collision or I'm doing it on Dynamite. I'm not doing it on no freaking Rampage. You feel me? I'm doing it on one of the main shows. You understand what I'm saying? So then we get Miro responding to Miss CJ Perry about all of this stuff, about what his wife is doing and all of this crazy stuff. And she's running around here on an evil path and all of this stuff. But guess what? Everybody who you think is finna roll with you, I'm taking they behinds out. And next thing you know, this dude then deboed Action Andrade. I said, God dang. I loved it. I say this is fantastic. Miro has a freaking beef with his wife. This is insane. Now, a lot of people say, well, didn't he kind of have something like this going on? No, WWE was doing some bull jive. WWE had him doing some real stupid stuff. That was idiotic. The fact that you even had Bobby Lashley involved and all this stuff, that was stupid. This right here is crazy. He just straight deboed Action and dry. Had that boy's head in his arm like it was nothing. I said, I said, it's crazy. This is crazy. I was like, we got some huge development. I said, this is insane. I said, this is what you want, ladies and gentlemen. People say, oh, he ain't telling no story. They did it. I said, TK was on one last night. He was on one. He had to respond after all that crying, after all the murmuring and going back at it with WWE Shields and talking about disrespect to John Cena, the Undertaker. He had to be on one, and I got to give him props. I love this segment. Then we get to the main event, Christian Cage versus Bryan Danielson. I mean, look, as good as this matchup was, I mean, you could have put this on pay-per-view. That's how good this match was. And his two beat the snot at each other, told a great story. Bryan's wrist, that was the storyline right there. I mean, acted like it was messed up again. I mean, Christian just tearing him up. But then Bryan, as the hero, I mean, crowd was into it. They were invested. They was rooting hard. They wanted Bryan to win. They wanted him to get the victory. And out of nowhere, Big Bill just walked up out of there. I said, oh, no. I said, what's finna pop off? And it looked like Bryan was going to win because Christian was ready to tap out. Christian was ready to freaking tap out. And the referee had his back turned. He was too busy focused on Big Bill. Ricky Starks came out of nowhere, whacked Bryan in the head with the tag team title, and then gonna sell it as if he got laid out. Christian retains his championship. The right man won. Christian Cage TNT title run does not need to be in no time soon. I said, I'm loving it. And then that's when Edge came out there. Well, my bad. Adam Copeland came out there to try to even the odds. And then that's when FTR came out there to even the odds. And then so it was one big free fall. And I said, I said, are they telling Nick Wayne was out there? Lucha was out. Everybody came out. So I was like, are they trying to tell us? Are they going to give us somewhere down the line a 6-man tag team match somewhere down the line? I'm pretty sure we are. I'm pretty sure we're going to get it. But I like the finish. Like I said, obviously is leading to the next episode. I'm like, cool. I'm like, hey, the heel goes over in cheating faction. Ricky costs Bryan because of all the mess that he didn't put him through. I said, and here's another thing too. with the BCC lurking around, are they potentially telling us that Bryan and Moxley are potentially going to be the ones to win the tag team titles? Are they setting them up? Because here's the deal. If you really want to establish Ricky, since he just won his first title, the Young Bucks need to do the job. There's absolutely... I want somebody to come in my comment section and tell me that the Young Bucks need to go over Ricky and Big Bill at Full Gear. No. If you really want to establish Ricky and Big Bill, let them run through the Young Bucks. And then somewhere down the line, you set up Bryan and Moxley versus Big Bill and Ricky. And then this is where Bryan eventually gets his first championship. Because a lot of people say Bryan said he wasn't coming here for championships. Well, he can win the tag team title. Him and Moxley can run out and win the tag team title. I ain't got a problem with that. But ladies and gentlemen, I done went on for a very long time. Talked about all the fiascos going on in the IWC. Oh, the sky's falling. Oh, this. Oh, TK with his immature self. Yep, we talked about it all. We talked about the occult, tribalistic, praying for the downfall of this company, clowns in the IWC. They all over the place. You know them. I don't have to name cats. You know exactly who they are. But we also brought the criticism, because I bring the criticism like I did. I talked about how certain matches shouldn't have been on the show. You could have had Sky go against somebody else. It was not that difficult. Have her go against somebody else and build it up. Heck, you could have said if Sky wins, she gets a future shot against Chris for the TBS title. And have Chris on. I'm trying to help cats develop storylines and make us care about the division. That's it. I ain't got really nothing else left to say. You know exactly what y'all need to do. Hit the freaking comment section up. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. Hey, listen, we're going to grow on and get bigger and better over here. Because like I said, on these streets out here in the IWC, KCFL Wrestling Takes is going to keep it 100% every time. No unbiased takes, no lies told, just straight facts. Straight with no chaser, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, this your boy KCFL King Self for Life. Holla at your boy Wrestling Takes. I'm gone, y'all.